What's up, Johnny and the Hula Hands? It's time for Deal
Yes,
of the Week. I
is it
actually
that
don't know
time
how helpful
already?
this is, Johnny, but we're just gonna keep putting it out there anyway.
I think that people are like, well, there's just going to be another deal of the week next week anyway. But hey,
No urgency.
so this is a market that's not waving its hands. I think,
Yes.
I talked to a lot of people that have expectations that they're just going to come and steal things. And we are in an environment where you can steal things, but you have to look at people that are showing a certain behavior. Not everybody is here to dump all their real estate, right?
Yes.
So there are deals out there, and that's what we're doing is we're identifying certain behavior that says you can get a deal because this market is not easy. It is not deals flying off the shelf. It is not death and destruction. Blood is not running through the streets, but we are having a correction, that's for sure. So,
And we're seeing a pattern in this specific deal of the week. We're seeing a
yeah,
pattern and maybe a resetting of prices, aren't we?
it's really interesting, man. There's got to be something going on there. But so I'll say, like, one comp does not make a market. So you have a one off in a neighborhood, it does skew up sales for a while. The psychology says, wait a minute, like, am I overpaying here? That's what the buyer psychology does. But when you have a second one pop up, you start to think, is there a trend growing here? So let's take a look at the location and all that kind of cool stuff. Oh, I like your black screen behind you there, Danny. Here we
You
go.
know, we're playing around. Oh, look at that.
Like it. Yes. Pinch out. So we're looking for the red dot there.
Yes.
That's Kamalani.
Kamalani. We're here in North
So guys,
Kihei.
that's what we call North Kihei. So this is North Kihei. When you get towards Wailea, you are now in South Kihei, where the word says Kihei. We consider that Central Kihei, the Kalama area. Kamalani is one of the newest complexes built in Kihei. It was completed in 2018. Everything gets its start as workforce housing. And then what doesn't get sold for workforce housing is sold as regular housing. So Kihei Villages, if you watch the show, if you know Maui, Kihei Villages is a classic starter neighborhood or a classic I don't need my house anymore. What do you call that phenomenon there, Danny? Downsizing.
Downsizing.
That's it. But Kihei Villages was built in the 90s.
Yes, 89, 90, 91.
Beautiful location, though. That's Sugar Beach, one of the longest on Maui. Got Uolani's Shave Ice close by. Most importantly, you have Sugar Beach Bake Shop close
Mm,
by, but close by both. So let's see the opportunity at Flats of Kamalani, Danny. Built in 2018. So Kihei Villages, all predominantly two bedrooms. It's the bathroom count that switches around. We have one baths, we have 1.5 baths, we have two baths. Kamalani is predominantly three bedrooms, two baths, but there are some two twos and some two ones. You don't see a whole lot of them. So let's look at the subject. 605, 599.
mm, that
Five
price.
ninety nine, Danny, for a three bedroom, two bath, 1,022 square feet, 943 for the maintenance fees. I mean, so we're getting into local housing territory. Can we agree, price
Oh,
wise?
absolutely.
I mean, dude, this one's a nice shape. They do have air conditioning in them. There it is. They're all wall units, but they're cool wall units. They're hidden. It's nice and
Yep,
clean and
they're
tidy.
efficient.
There's a
Those
little bit of a yard
upstairs
that comes
unit,
along.
so you get a little
Yeah.
bit bigger yard. Yes.
So this one's upstairs then.
Yes.
There we go. So we got some virtual staging going on.
Very
My buddy
original.
has the listing, and he incidentally was one of the salespeople that sold out this community.
Yeah.
So
He's
if
here
you
to
wanted
show
me
the
to get
yard.
the skinny on anything, I could totally get the skinny on anything. There's your cool little yard, gang. So you got a dog, you just open up your door, you let your dog. A lot of people do our artificial turf down there. I'd probably do the same thing. Don't have to deal with watering, low maintenance.
Space for a table,
Dude,
barbecue.
make it make sense, Danny. We're in a housing
So
shortage.
2 years ago, Johnny, just
Yeah.
before the fires, one of our
Yep.
friends was looking to sell their Kamalani unit. We were talking about a
Uh-huh.
list price of 849,
We absolutely were.
and that was going to fly off the shelf. Absolutely smoking hot market at that time
Totally was.
until
We were
fires hit.
trying to find the replacement property and figure out that deal before listing because we knew that it would pop so quickly.
It would pop so quick. So now we're down 250,000. So there was a
So
comp
what
recently
else?
that went pending at 575.
Yeah,
So that's
that
kind
was
of why
the
we're seeing a
original one.
trend.
So when did that one start? So click on that listing for me.
This one,
So yeah, because they started at a much higher price, if I remember correctly. I want to say they started at 699. There it is.
699, which is
So
still,
at the time,
that looks like a deal.
that was a deal. They were definitely like between perceived market pricing and event based. And the reason why so cheap, because the sellers are ready to go. So here's some interesting information, guys. And this is why condos on Maui present themselves an opportunity if you have cash, or you can just hire a higher payment, because the reason for the opportunities are the lawsuits that are still pending in here. And this is unfortunately very common here on Maui. And I don't know how we change this. But what happens is developer completes the development. He says, I'm done. So then there's a formal handoff to the AOAO, which is the Association of Apartment Owners. And
Yes.
they always sue the developer on the way out and say, wait a minute, you need to fix some stuff for us first. That's what starts the lawsuits. And then just because there's a lawsuit on there, standard lenders, and when I mean standard, I'm talking about government financing, and then anything that's Fannie Mae conventional won't touch it. So what does that mean? Well, minimum 20% down, probably looking at a little bit higher interest rate, probably looking at a couple points to get the deal done. That's what is causing the changes that we're seeing in pricing here, Danny. And look at that. How do these guys feel that are 750 and 799?
Yeah,
Because
but
in their heads, they're
two other
still
listings
just
at 750,
hoping, right?
769. But we look at
Yes.
the sales. So a year ago, 749, and then a couple months ago, 650. So comp wise, we're down 100,000
And the
in a year.
litigation was still going on. This isn't new litigation, dude. It's just a change in psychology of the market, man.
That's it. So litigation leading to prices going
Dude, that is
down.
a 1031 exchange waiting to happen, bro. If you have 1031 exchange money and you're looking for Maui, we suggest Flats of Kamalani for 599. We think it'll rent out for 3,500 to 4,000 a month.
Easy. Yeah, there's a few listings
Yep,
right now, 3,800, 4,000,
all day long.
and that's
I
pretty good
said it.
value.
Get a 1 year lease in there, send in your long-term rental exemption, enjoy cheaper taxes, 943 for maintenance. It'll rent out for like we just said.
There it is. And there was the other piece there, the HOA fees. So
Yes.
probably another part why things have slowed down a little bit. We've mentioned it a lot on the show, on here. The insurance has gone up. So I think the fees up almost $500. So almost double what it used to be.
But guys, insurances are starting to go down. We've talked about that. Kahana Reef has they themselves. It's a condo complex here on the west side. One bedrooms was $2,000 a month, went down to 1,200 because they were able to get themselves a better insurance premium when they re-upped. So hope is in the air. Stick in there. I think people just hate real estate right now. This is a sign of bottoms when people are so disinterested, they've lost focus on it. This is the time to come sniffing around, gang. Come sniff with me.
Sniff, sniff.
I'm
Deal of the
ready to
week for
sniff.
this week.
Yeah.
Kamalani 325.99. Until next time.
Ah, hooey ho.